Now let's move on to the next concept, that will be the basic classifications of signals. Here we have the 4 basic classifications of the signals. The first will be the continuous time and the discrete time signals. What is meant by continuous time and what is meant by discrete time signals, we can see in a few minutes in detail. And next, what is meant by analog signal and what is meant by digital signals. And next, we will see what is meant by real signal and what is meant by complex signal. And next, finally, we will conclude our session with what is meant by deterministic signal and what is meant by non-deterministic signal. Now let's start the what is meant by continuous time and what is meant by discrete time signals. For example, if you take you already know this will be represented as signal, and in this signal systems we will be generally taken as independent variable as time, right? Here I can be represented as time t. So now the time be the 7 p.m. For example, our class has to be ended at 10 p.m. What will happen to the curve? Just see, our class will be started at some 7 p.m. and ending time period be this will be the starting time period, and I want to end my class up to 7 p.m. It will take end time. This will be the end time. So for example, if I want to calculate the temperature from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. in terms of continuous time, so in the 7 p.m. the temperature will be somewhat like this. After moving the 8 p.m. generally the temperature will be somewhat down compared to the 7 p.m. right, and compared to the 9 p.m. it will be somewhat down, and finally at our 10 p.m. that will be somewhat less compared to the 7 p.m. For example, if we got this type of curve and we want to calculate the temperature at 7 hour 1 minute and 20 seconds, what will be the temperature for this curve? We will be getting some approximate answer, and we want to calculate every instant. For example, 7 hour 5 seconds and 5 minutes and 5 seconds, and similarly 9 hour 2 minutes and 3 seconds. If you want to calculate then every instant for this curve, then it will be very difficult for us, right? So the main conclusion for this continuous time, that will be if you want to calculate an every instance of time, then it will be said to be the continuous time signals. So if I want to calculate this instant, every instant, that will be so difficult for us. And similarly, if you want to take an discrete time signal, here we have some fortune to use this discrete time signal. That will be, for example, if you see, this will be n, and here I will be tell the discrete time signal, the independent variable can be represented with n, right? Represented with n. For example, this will be some signal, and I have taken similar example from our starting class of 7 p.m. up to the ending class, up to how much it will be continued up to the 10 p.m. right? For example, if I take this will be an 7 p.m. starting and concluded by class as a session for the up to 10 p.m. Here you can't take this calculate 7 hour 1 minute 20 seconds, not like that. For example, it's just like an instance of time period will be there. For example, if you take the calculate the 7 p.m, after you have to calculate the put the instant at 7:30 p.m or next 8 and next 8:30, and it will be so on going up to the 10 p.m. So the curve will be same like this only. At 7 p.m. the temperature has to be somewhat risen and move on to the 10 p.m. gradually the temperature will be reducing. For example, if you want to calculate the same time period by using this instant 7 hour 1 minute 20 seconds, it will be not possible in the discrete time signals. Why? Because in this the discrete time signal there will be some instances will be there. If you want to calculate it directly, you have to go to the 7:30 p.m. how much the temperature will be there in this instant. And next, if you want to calculate it, you just directly go to the 8 p.m. In between you can't do anything, just 7:30 p.m. after 8. Later we will be do 8:30, like that. This will be the main difference between the continuous time as well as the discrete time signals. And let's see another signal. I hope you will get this concept for the continuous time and the discrete time signals. Now let's move on to the next concept, that will be the analog signal and as well as the digital signals. I will be just rub this thing. And let's see another concept, that will be the what is meant by analog signal and what is meant by digital signals. And here if you see one thing, the analog signal means, so this thing analog signal and digital signals, I have to write it down. This will be the, for example, if I take a plot like this, so this will be the 0 1 2 3 and 5, like that. If I put the next 1 2 3 4 and as well as the 5, and here if you see in this analog signal, analog means both this will be set to be the time period, right? Time period t, and this will be then some amplitude, right? And here in the analog signals, we are taking both time period and amplitude be continuous. So similarly, if you want to take the discrete signal, so what will happen in the discrete signal? In the discrete signal, both the time period as well as an amplitude, that will be in the form of discrete form. Then it will be said to be the discrete signals. So for example, if you take this will be a discrete signal and this will be for continuous signals. For discrete signal, if I take this will be the time period and this will be an amplitude, and time period can be represented in the discrete form, that will be in the n, right? And here if you want to take, this will be the x of n. And similar instance, I will be take 1 2 3 as well as the 4, and here 1 2 3 and here some 4. So here in the discrete signal means taking both time period, time and amplitude in discrete. And similarly, if you want to represent it for the notations for the analog signals as well as the digital signals, that can be represented with, for analog signals, this will be the continuous amplitude and the continuous time period, CA comma CT. Similarly, if you want to represent it with the discrete signal, that will be represented with DA comma DT. Mainly we are using this analog and the digital signals for the conversion purpose. The conversion purpose will play a crucial role in these analog signals as well as the digital signals. For example, if you want to convert an analog signal to the digital signal, how you can convert? So important concept in this, that will be the, if I want to take in signal, if I want to take an analog input, that means analog input means continuous amplitude comma continuous time period. Okay, and if I want to give this analog input, my final target be the discrete time and as well as the discrete amplitude. Why? How we can get that discrete time and discrete amplitude? We can see this. And here, if you want to give the, for sampler, what you will get? You will get then discrete time as well as an continuous amplitude, but you can't get an discrete amplitude here. For sampler means just chopped our required curve into the required number of samples, then it will be said to be the sampler. For example, if you take, this will be a curve, and this curve, this will be the continuous curve. That continuous curve has to be chopped or make it to the required samplers by using the sampler. That will be just like in this line, here like this. The chopping will be done like this. This. It will be cut our entire continuous waveform into this required number of samples. Then what we have to do, and our target be just to get the discrete time as well as the discrete amplitude. Here we can't match our criteria. How you will get? You will just add a simple quantizer to this sampler output, to the quantizer. Here in this quantizer, you will get an appropriate output that will be said to be the discrete time as well as the discrete amplitude. In this way, you can convert our continuous amplitude and the continuous time period in terms of discrete amplitude and as well as the discrete time period. Okay, this will be the logic behind the process behind this analog signal as well as the digital signal. Now let's move on to the another concept, that will be the real and complex signal. Next, what is meant by real signal and what is meant by complex signal? In general, you can see the mathematics concepts, this real and complex signals very well. Now just like in brush up concepts, memorizing concepts for this real and as well as the complex signals. Let's see. So the complex signal means it will have more than one variables, and real signal means it has only one variable. So here this will be the real signal means only one variable, and this complex signal means more than one variable. And here you can see the best example for the real and complex signals, that will be the z is equal to x plus I y. and here X can be represented as real signal. X can be represented as real signal and Y can be represented as complex signal. One thing you have to observe in this complex signal, that will be just like an x-axis and y-axis that will be divided by means of phase of 90 degrees. Then we have to be said to be that signal is to be complex signal. For example, if you take this will be a curve and here this will be taken as I. This will be have 90 degrees. This will be an x-axis and this will be an y-axis. You can observe clearly one thing here. Here this x-axis as well as the y-axis can be differ by a phase shift of 90 degrees. Then that signal is said to be the complex signal. Okay. And next we will see what is meant by deterministic signal and what is meant by non-deterministic signal. So here deterministic signal means mathematically proved. Whenever you have to prove the mathematically, then it will be said to be the deterministic signals. When you can't determine the mathematically, then it will be said to be the non-deterministic signals. You can't determine the mathematically, then it will be said to be the non-deterministic signal. The best examples for the non-deterministic signal, that will be the examples. The best example will be the earthquake signal, right? Earthquake signal. Be the earthquake signal. And here, if you want to, the best example for the deterministic signal, all basic signals are mathematically proved. Then it will be said to be the deterministic signal. The examples be just like an impulse signal, step signal, and next ramp signal, etc. Impulse signal, step signal, ramp signal, signum signals, as well as the gate function or the rectangular functions, all are said to be the deterministic signals. This will be the basic classifications of the signals lecture. Next we will see what will be the deterministic signals concepts very well. Deterministic means basic signals, that will be what will be the impulse signal and further mathematical representation. Okay. Thank you.